Hello everybody, and today is a bit of a different video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to rip N64 models on PC. It's pretty straight, it's kind of straightforward. So first of all, you're going to need Project 64. I'm pretty sure you can I'm pretty sure you can do this on other emulators, but Project 64 is the best one. I think you can use basically any version. I already have it downloaded. You're going to need Blender, which again, any version, I already have it downloaded. Most importantly, this. You're gonna need this video plugin, and obviously you're also gonna need a game, but I'm not gonna be providing that. You're gonna have to find it on your own and rip your own game. So so download all those. What you're gonna want to do is open Project 64, and then just open Project 64, and then it'll make a file in your C drive or a program file. I mean, go there. The easiest way is just right click this, go there, go to plugin and go to GFX and then this. Download this and then drag it here. Once you've done that, you're gonna want. Okay, I'm just gonna open it like this so I can actually use controllers. Once you do that, um, go to options, go to configuration. You're gonna. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Well, just do that anyways. I thought this would like hide the plugins tab, but no. Go here. I already have it. It should be called Nemu 64 Graphics Combined Debug. These are just other ones, but this is the one you really want. So once you've done that, before you do anything, go down to Windows C and create a file called VRML. You're gonna want to do that because that's where all your textures and models are gonna go. And yeah, you're gonna have to create the actual folder. So once you've done that, open the game you want. Let me see if I can remember exactly which one. I think is this one. All right, open it. Alright, since I already have it on, I'm just gonna make the window bigger. I already have it on, so it should look like this. It's not a very good plugin if you're just playing a game with it. As look at the moon. Yeah, it's not. I'm gonna turn that down because I want you guys to hear me. Alright, go here. And just okay, and then go to an area where you want to rip a model from. You can go to somewhere where you want to rip a model. I'm not really gonna go anywhere. I'm just gonna be here. Let me reload the area. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rip Link. All right. So just quickly. All right. Get a frame. Okay. Get a frame you really want. And then pause. Pause the emulation. You can do it either with a hotkey. Mine is F3. Or you can just come up here and press it down there. So now what you're going to want to do is graphic settings. Let me just open the VRML folder. Again, make it. Click this option. It's called Export VRML. Click that. And then pause, unpause and then pause really fast so you can literally advance one frame. And all your textures appear right here. But that's not the end of it. And I just realized I forgot something. You're gonna want the N64 mapping tool. Let me just search that up. N64 mapping tool. Alright, so this is the mapping tool you're gonna want. Again, I'll leave this in the description below. So yeah, okay, click this. I'm pretty sure this will download it. Alright, yeah, click that. I'm just making sure because I actually completely forgot about this, even though this is literally one of the most important parts about this. So yes, it's right there. You're gonna want that. I already have it. I already have it on my desktop. I'm sorry I forgot about that. Alright, but you're gonna need that because I'm gonna close this because I don't really need it anymore. So what you're gonna want to do, open it, and because when you rip the model, it'll rip as a whirl model. Look, see, whirl. You're gonna want it to object so you can actually open it in Blender. So browse, go to the folder it's in, which again is VRML. Alright, let's go here. Input and convert to object. You can make a new folder, so I recommend you do that too. So I'm just gonna call it Lonk because I already have a link folder. Alright. And it's gonna save. done. So if you go in there, it's in there. So, and then go to copy use textures. Select the object you just had. Select the texture folder, which in order to do this, just click VRML like so, and then go to the select the output folder. You want to go to the location where your object file is. So to do that, copy textures, and then done. There it is. Let me there you go. So you can actually see the textures. So that's that. Close this. So now you're going to want to go to Blender, which again, link in the description. Alright, and now you're here. Get rid of the classic things that are usually there. Go to Import, Wavefront.object, and go to VRML. Go to VRML and click that. And here it is. Here is your model. Now, if you want to only rip one specific thing, as I said, I'm ripping Link. You're going to want to do is click, okay, something I always, okay. Basically, in order to delete everything else, just click on it, X, delete. What I always recommend you do is that models like Link here are split into multiple segments. So what you're going to want to do is delete everything around him. And then get it, and then, okay, let me just delete his shadows too. Those are supposed to be that. Drag on, okay, click on one part and then just drag across, I mean. Join them. Always make sure you have every spot though. So let me just actually, so origin to geometry. Make sure you have everything. So if there was something missing, I would have moved him and that one part would have still been there, but yeah, I got everything. This is to make sure you don't accidentally delete like one piece of him. Alright. So delete all that. And alright. So if you want him in the middle, set the origin to 3D cursor, then set a geometry to the origin. And there is your there's your model. It's right there. Let me make him bigger since he's really tiny. Alright. Let's just make him bigger. As you can see, he is ripped. However, you may notice he looks really weird. He has a lot of like weird texture mapping, and his tunic is white. But there's a very easy fix to this, which I will show right now. Okay, so the first thing that I do recommend, you don't have to do this, but what I always recommend you do is change the format of the images. If you go down to here, you'll see it's in BMP. I'd prefer that you change it to PNG. How do you do that? I'm sure you can find a website that'll like do it like faster than this, but the way I do it is I go into this website. It's called Pixel. It is a sprite editor. You go here, you drag in your image, and then you simply download it, and it'll convert itself to PNG. So, yeah, okay. And the reason I recommend you do this is because if you go into say like Google Drawings and you try dragging a BMP, it does not support it. And I might be asking, why would you ever need Google Drawings? This is supposed to be ripping N64 models. Well, I already showed you how to rip it, but you want to texture it properly because if you look at it, it doesn't look that great, honestly. And one of the main contentions, and not every single N64 model is like this, but as you can see, Link's supposed to be green, but his texture, his tunic is white. This is because it uses vertex textures instead of just like a normal color texture. This was done because, say, in Ocarina of Time, you can change your tunic color with the different colors, like different color tunics or whatever, like Zora and Goron. And instead of having three textures, like, well, see, Link has like five textures in total, so that'd be like a lot of textures if they had like each individual one colored. So what they did, they changed it to white, and every time they change the text, like you change your tunic, it will just change the texture. Hope I explained that right. But so why would you need to go drawings? Well, because to change the color. What you do is drag in your texture. I'm not going to do this with all of them because I actually already have all of his textures. As you can see right here, it is green. How did I do that? Well, this is how you do it. This is how I do it, at least. You go here, and you change the brightness. You go to adjustments and you change the brightness down to like not all the way down because that'll just be useless, but change it down to like pretty dark, and then you download it, and then you crop it. Again, I'm pretty sure there's an easier way to crop it, but the way I do is I always take it here, put it there, import it. Goddamn it, import it, and boom, there it is. It's really dark, and then I download it again. All right, let me close that. So now you take it here, and when you go to format, go to recolor instead. And now you can change the color. You might be asking, well, why don't I just change the brightness on the first one and then change the color like that? Well, if you try to do that, you go to recolor, it doesn't recolor properly. Even though you change the brightness, it still detects it as a white image, so it'll only detect like the gray areas. While here, it'll detect it as a fully gray image, and you'll be able to change the color. So yeah, and then download it. And what I highly recommend you do is when you're changing all your textures to back to PNG, I highly recommend you name it because okay, if you go like to just from random texture, I'm just gonna just pick one. You go here, as you can see, it's like all these numbers, and that'd be very hard to like memorize. So yeah, that's how you change the color of his tunic. Okay, so now you're done with that. You should have all your textures here. Again, I didn't do it. I didn't do it right now. I didn't have because I already have the textures. But assume you don't. Change them all to PNG and then rename them. Or if you're not changing them to PNG, at least rename it because it makes it so much easier. So now it's time to retexture this guy. So how do I do it? Uh, you can just like go here, but if you want to have them like segmented while you do it, which is how I prefer to do it. Oh geez, lag. If you want to like unseparate him because we did it earlier, you go here, you go to okay, you click on the model, you go to edit, you press A if because like sometimes it'll be like this where like none of the parts is like this. Press A to select them all. Go down here, go to separate, separate by material, and boom, he's back to how he was before. So now let's get to texturing. In order to change the texture again, the texture is there, but since I changed it all to PNG, I have to do it all again. So you go here, you go to shading, you go down here, and you go to this folder. And then when you go here, when it opens up this, it should be in the file that the model's in already. But in case of, in just in case it isn't, just go to it. All right, so this is the belt, and I actually have two belts. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I just go to belt, and that is the wrong one. And then you open it. Nope, I picked the wrong one again. There you go. And now, as you can see, it's now textured. You don't have again if you didn't change your if you didn't change them all to PNG, you don't have to do this. But you might notice that again some of the texture is off. If you look at this, like, okay, let me just combine these two. I do recommend that if a texture has if two parts have like the same texture, just join them and then minus one of them. There you go. Anyways, back to business. Shading. Alright, so as you can see, it's like weirdly cropped. It should not look like that. So, let me first of all just change the texture. Oh yeah, and if you're unsure of what the texture is, because if you look down here, is this the wrong one? Let me close that. If you look down here, some of these could kind of blend in. You can simply click on the area and go to UV editing or texture paint, and you press A. Oh, oops. I don't know. Oh, I picked the wrong part. Okay, so you go here, and UV editing, and in case the texture is obviously wrong, like I clicked on the chest and it's not appearing, press A, and now it should show up, and the texture will show up there, and then you go to the one that matches, so it's this one, Tunic 3. You go here, let me change the texture again, now that it's colored, boom, look, is that the right texture? Yes, it is. Okay, I was just making sure, I'm sorry. Alright, it's Tunic, wait, no, that is not actually. Alright, I did something wrong. Shading. Oh, is it Tunic 4? It's Tunic 4. Alright, my bad. There we go. So, there's this weird like line in the middle, and it should not look like that. Well, you go back to UV editing. I'm gonna turn this on, and I'm gonna turn this off so you guys can see. Now you have to remap it. So you click on all these. You go, no, just no. You go to transform, which is this one, and you drag it over here. And then you line it up with the other one. Let me zoom in all the way. Let me just drag a little more. This one is not actually exact. For whatever reason, this one is like higher and this one's lower, but that doesn't really matter. In some cases it does, but in this case it's not. Like, see, it looks like the lines are slightly off, but it doesn't matter. And as you can tell here, the texture is now good. It now actually shows up perfectly. But then you may be asking, oh, what about here? Look at that. Is that gonna fix it? Well, no. First of all, let me just change the texture. Mouth, is it? There we go. So how do you do that? If you go to UV editing and try to edit it, like, it's not really gonna do any good. As you can tell, it's not really gonna do. In fact, it looks worse. But what you do, it's very simple. Go back to where the image is. You go here where it says repeat, change that to extend, and now it looks good. So that's how you fix up your model. Alright, and then you got situations like this where, okay, let me change it. It's called Ling. I know this. L. I cannot see this. There it is. Ling. As you see, the background is black. But if you go to the image, you might notice it's a transparent image. So how do you fix it? Well, you take alpha. Okay, let me drag this all the way down here so it'll be easier. You take this alpha and you take it to alpha. You go here to this like ball that's slightly shaded. You go down to blend mode and change it to anything other than opaque. And boom, it is transparent. There are other options like hashed that make the edges like weird, and then blend, which makes it complete like kind of transparent. But the best one, in my opinion, is clip. It does look a little odd, but now the image is transparent. So I'm thinking about any other places. I mean, oh wait, okay, here. Oh god, can I even click that? All right. Never mind. I was gonna show you how to do a transparent image, but I guess I can't do that. So, oh, oops. I mean, not a transparent, reflective texture, which I'll actually do it. Hold on. All right, we're back. So, if you want to know how to do reflective textures, as you can tell, if you look down at the gold here, this is a different model. This is the other model I had done. But if you go down here, you might notice that like if you move the camera, it's reflective, but the sword is not. How do you do it? Well, go get your texture, which I'm not going to do, and then go to Add, Input, Texture Coordinate, and then put this reflection to the vector, and now your texture will be reflective. It's pretty easy. Now, if you followed all of my steps up to this point, it should look something like this. I am done. So what do you do now? Well, first of all, you save. Well, because not only because you want to preserve your all the progress you've done, let me save that, but also because exit out and then re-enter. Wait, no, this isn't the right one. Data C. There you go. Go back and then re-enter it. Why did you do that? Well, if you miss any textures, well, first of all, if you're doing this, I'm assuming that you deleted all the excess textures you don't want, but when you exit it and then re-enter it, the textures that, like the places that aren't textured will appear as pink, and that'll tell you if you missed anything. But yeah, you're done now. Or are you? As you can see, he's still very polygonal. Let me close this. Yeah. He's very, like, you can see all the polygons, which is very contrasting when you compare it to this other rip I did, where everything is all smooth and stuff. Look at that. So how do you do that? Well, simple. You click it, you join it all together again, but then you go to edit mode. Okay, this is why I said you should press A, because sometimes some parts aren't selected. So you press A, then you go to merge vertices, and then you press by distance. You go back to object mode, and press shade smooth. And now everything is all smoothed out. There's a bit of a difference. You can go back to flat, where you can see all the polygons, and you go back to smooth, where it looks like how it looks on N64. And yeah, that is basically how it's done. But that is kind of the end, but not at the same time. So let's back to this. As you can see, the sword right here is still like polygonal. Like you can see all like the polygons. Well, you want it like that if because that's just how the sword looks in game. But if you combine everything and then merge vertices by distance, let me shade smooth again. It'll look like that. Now, if you don't want that, this is how you do it. So let me just undo everything. Da -da -da. Basically, what you do is, God damn, this is gonna be. Yeah, separate. But okay, if you want to separate all the pieces again, my material. So what you do is you select everything that isn't the sword. So let me just like let's see if I can do this. Oops. Alright. And in order to make sure if you got everything but the sword, just do this. And oh look, I missed some things. Boom. The only things that are there are the sword and the jewel. So now what you do is you join these. Oops. Oh goddamn. Okay. You're supposed to have to. What you're supposed to do is have a selected mesh, so kind of like that. So what you do is let me do it all again. Alright. There we go. So what you do is join it, and then just do the thing you did before. Merge vertices by distance. And now, as you can see, everything is all smooth except for the sword, and if you want to join them, just join. And that is how you rip an N64 model. It is time consuming, but it is pretty easy. Here's another one I did. Um, here's another one I did. These are models are made by Skiller's Art, which I'll leave a link to his channel down in the description below. So yeah, that is how you rip N64 models. If you want to know how to rig them, then unfortunately you're gonna have to go somewhere else, as I do not know how to rig these guys. But yeah, so yeah, I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful, and I'll see you guys in my next episode. Bye bye.